talk. So we decided tonight that we're just going to talk about stuff that we hate.
Card types.
Because we're always talking about the stuff we like and things we maybe think there's better choices. But so me and him have had this conversation before. You hate convertibles.
I hate convertibles. Yeah.
Now, and I hate
shooting brakes.
Not your favorite. I hate shooting brakes.
That's true.
And I think the worst looking shooting brakes are like the only ones I even like get close to liking. Like I saw an Aston Martin Lagonda shooting brake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this car is hideous to begin with. It just kind of works, But but convertibles. So convertibles have always been kind of like I like to say the rental car because there's a lot of convertible rental.
People
cars.
rent,
right?
But people rent convertibles because they don't want to own them. That's
a valid point.
Yeah.
Epiphany moment. But like, there's convertibles that you cannot. You hate all convertibles
generally, like as a car.
But you can't hate the Miata. Like the Miata is one of those cars that transgresses that whole thing. I mean,
they do.
And you can always throw a hard top on it if it really bugs you that.
I actually like Miatas.
Yeah. Well, I don't. It's weird. Through all the years I've been playing with the car world, I've never met anyone who's a Miata hater.
And you can't, can you?
No.
Can you really hate a Miata?
I think you're not allowed. I think you're not allowed.
Yeah,
because like girls like them,
right?
Guys like them.
Car guys like them.
Car guys like them.
Non-car guys like them.
Because like older car guys like them because we remember the British
Triumphs.
And they were cool, but they never ran. Then Mazda made a cool British Roadster.
Thank you.
That doesn't break.
Yeah.
But the Miata being the one, I mean, so there's always the Miata is the Miata is the Miata. It was designed to be a rag top. And I think that's a key thing.
I do too.
Cars that are designed to be rack tops, not made in a rack top.
No, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with that one because a lot of the convertibles that I hate because they weren't convertibles. And then the auto manufacturer identified a market for it if it were a convertible. Then they make it a convertible. What do they do to make it a convertible that's not just a terrible car? They put reinforcements in it and they make it really heavy, right? But they don't usually add power. So you just end up with a car that is missing a top that's slower than the car that it's based on.
No.
So
we're not talking. We're not talking about necessarily the acceptable convertible, which is a Targa or trackable hardtop. I mean, convertibles are something where the whole roof disappears.
Correct.
Correct. Like when I bought my NSX, I bought a hardtop because I wanted the rigidity and I wanted the original stuff. But later on, they were available. They were available later, but like. So what do you think is the worst convertible that you see on the road?
Like current or?
Well, just in general. I mean,
like Sebring convertible.
You see, here's the
Sebring convertible.
I had two 99s. When I had
Why would you buy more than one?
Because I had a business partner.
Okay.
And we got the same car at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And that's
like
that's the year they kind of looked like a more expensive car than they were.
Yeah.
It was a nice convertible. It was a nice convertible.
My issue isn't that they look cheap, though. My issue is just that they're worse. They're just worse.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they were horrible cars. Don't get me wrong. They were horrible cars.
In any way,
it led to a lot of my domestic hatred. But when I think of probably the worst convertible out there that I see from time to time. It's Volkswagen.
The EOS?
Well, that's the worst.
Of the Cabrio.
Of what I like to call the bitch basket cars.
Yeah.
They look like, I always thought they looked like a lunch basket.
The EOS or the
Cabrio? All of the Cabrios. Because it's like the handle, it's like, it looks like a picnic basket with wheels.
Yeah.
But they're just, that's why. I mean, a Beetle is an acceptable convertible. I mean, it's an old cool car as a convertible.
Yeah.
You look at
people did it custom, like made.
Another car that blows me away with the beauty of it being a convertible is like late '50s Cadillacs, like a Barrett's.
Okay, so that makes sense to me because it was never a sporting car to begin with.
No,
it was only ever this giant
so you just
luxury
So you don't have a problem with convertibles. You just like sports cars that are convertibles.
Yeah,
you can accept.
Well, no, because I like Miatas, and they were always convertibles.
Okay,
so
but what about like the M3 convertible?
Dislike.
Mercedes SLK.
Dislike.
That's retractable hardtop.
No. Okay. PRHTs are convertibles.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean,
in the same way that like flappy paddle cars are automatics. It's like,
well, yeah, okay.
Call it what you want. It is what it is.
But you're saying that it's just so like Mustang. I don't like any of the cars. What's crazy is a friend of mine brought up to me recently that convertibles always look better with the top down. That it's very hard to find a convertible with the top up that looks good. And I like
power retractable hardtops are the exception to that statement.
Yeah, but
because Mercedes SLs look excellent with the top on.
You look at like a C4 Vet, which is a horrible car to begin with.
It's like white.
It looks like a pickup truck with the top down. It looks like you could land things in the back of it. But you look at Mustang convertibles and like, you know, why would you make a Cobra convertible?
An R8 convertible.
Yeah.
A Gallardo convertible.
It's kind of a chick car.
The spiders.
Yeah, but I mean, the Gallardo makes more sense than the R8. I think the R8 is more of a chick. Your wife might want it.
I think
I'm not even trying to be sexist about it. I mean, it's like there's a certain feminine love of a convertible.
No, for sure. No, I've long said that convertibles are built for girls or guys that want a girl, like that are trying to find a girl. I've always.
The weird thing is, I've had a few convertibles over the years. Okay, and
score you any chicks?
No. And unfortunately, I'm like white as the driven snow. So, the only time I ever really get to enjoy a convertible is at night, like driving through a really nice city.
Yeah.
With the top down at night, just you know.
Which is why you rent them.
Which is why you rent them.
I rent them.
Which is why they're the rental car capital of Florida.
There you go.
I guess that's the point. But I mean, there's like, I'm really just straining to find a convertible that's awesome.
Well, let me have it.
Unimog. No.
Oh, wow.
No. I mean, but it's like, you really don't have anything that's...
I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, okay, yeah.
I had it. All right, so I kind of got for next to nothing a 350Z convertible when they were new.
Oh, those look terrible.
Well, the guy had the car. It got damaged in the shipment process, getting it from California to the East Coast.
Okay.
They cut the top open trying to steal it. They broke the windshield. The windshield was like $1,500 back then.
Yeah.
Because the convertible windshield's different.
Reinforced.
And I just sat on the car until aftermarket companies started making windshields.
Right.
And then I bought one for $600.
There you go.
And it was auto. You know, it wasn't anything that was going to be amazing.
Wow.
But I kind of...
It's like the worst 350Z
But
ever.
it was a decent like daily. You know?
It can only get worse if it's 4 doors.
I got rid of it pretty quick. I got rid of it pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I've never gone, wow, I really want that convertible. If I got, I like McLarens.
Yeah. I will say,
I wouldn't buy a Spider. Like, I wouldn't buy a Spider.
Yeah.
Even though they say, oh, you buy a Spider, you're just going to get wet when it rains. But
well, I mean, like I would buy like a Pagani Huayra or Zonda, but they're Targas. They're not like the Targa one. They're not like a convertible per se. So it's not the ruthlessness of it that bothers me. It's more like,
well, you know, if you're going to go stupid like that, you're going to just pull one out of your butt, then why not just get like a Mercedes Sterling Moss? I would drive that too.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. And one of these days I'm going to do one, just because I really kind of want one. It's convertible.
Okay. All right.
I really want to do like a 356 Speedster kit car.
Oh yeah.
You know, maybe with a Volkswagen engine.
Yeah.
Because who cares if it goes fast? Maybe a Volkswagen engine, or maybe an STI motor. I've seen one recently with an STI motor in it.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect because, as I understand,
because they're so deadly.
Well,
they're so deadly.
As I understand it, and I could be wrong. This could just be internet lore that I've not researched, so I just believe it. But as I understand it, Subaru. Yeah, I got to snoop it. As I understand it, Subaru kind of started doing the boxer engines because of Volkswagen and Porsche.
Well,
and there was some maybe even
I love you,
technological exchange.
No, I love you, Japanese car companies, but you stole a lot of stuff from a lot of people.
Rotary,
I remember
German,
Boxer,
German.
World War II, Toyota came
Straight
over.
Six, German.
Toyota came over and toured Henry Ford's facility and figured out how to do assembly line production.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the Toyo Pet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The horrible car that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, convertibles are more. I think they're more of an image than a car. Like if you bought a convertible, you want to have this. And I always get a kick out of all these people that have convertibles and never put the top down.
Yeah. Like well, it's funny. You say, and I agree. You say that having a convertible is more about like conveying a message about who you are and less about the car.
Open air. I want to drive around California. I want to go
or South Florida.
And all I keep thinking is you get this convertible and it's really fast, like your Santa Gallardo or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want a really fast car that's sacrificing chassis rigidity and is going to murder me if the car flips over.
So are you making
roof?
Are you making my case for
no,
me?
I am. I'm making it for you. But that's about performance cars. But that's what I'm saying.
And so that's the thing.
But that's why if you built a speedster, who cares how fast it is? It's a cool little convertible.
Okay, so you make a good point. And
Beetle convertibles and stuff.
Well, you make a good point, and the point I think, getting back to what you said earlier, is when a car company designs a car to be topless, it's a good car.
Right.
When they design a car to have a top and then modify it from the factory to be topless, it's a worse car. Yeah. So there were certain points, like the I forget the model now. I wish I could remember, but the one that James Dean died in.
550 Spider.
Yeah, that car. Awesome
but that car should have never been on the road.
What?
That was a total race car.
Awesome looking car
with blinkers.
With no top.
Yeah.
Like awesome looking car.
But that brings up an interesting point. That's not a convertible.
That's
a
just
Spider.
A topless car,
That's a Spider. That is a no top, no choice.
It wasn't
nothing.
Supposed to have
open top car.
Which gets back to what I said. It's not the toplessness that bothers me.
But all right, so now I'm going to
Now
I'm going to throw this into the mix because this is the one car that most people can't fault as a convertible.
All right. Besides me out.
427 Cobras.
Well, there was never. It wasn't designed as a hardtop to begin with.
No.
So.
But it's still an amazingly fast convertible.
But the Shelby GTS Coupe or whatever?
Oh, you mean like a Dutch Homa?
Gorgeous car.
It is, but it's that's Ford trying to look like a Ferrari GTO. You put them next to each other, it's creepy how much they look alike.
But it's still
because the Ferrari worked racing too, you know.
Yeah.
So that's Ford copying Europe, you know.
But to answer, I mean about the Cobra, like okay, the Cobra was an Aston Healey. Austin Healey.
We need to do.
I think that's what it was.
We need to do maybe a little video about cars that weren't convertible, that were made into convertible in the aftermarket. That was just a really bad idea.
Yep.
Like I think even a 355 Spider doesn't look too bad as a convertible, but when you see these guys that lock the roof off a Testarossa to make it a convertible, I have seen some hideous stuff.
Well, like the 360 Modenas looked good without a roof.
But they were kind of designed either way.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it works, but
yeah. But like you see these guys chopping. Like I literally saw recently. I could be wrong, but I heard it was either. I think it was Ice-T owned it. Okay. It was Ice Cube or Ice-T. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to do the research on it.
Okay.
If you guys, if anybody watching this room can tell me for sure. They made an NSX convertible.
Oh man,
and wait, and it was auto.
Oh god.
So I mean, I guess if you're gonna screw up an NSX, do it to an auto.
Do it to one that no one wants.
But and you've seen that in a lot of cars where they made cars that weren't convertibles.
Yeah, I mean,
you do. Remember the Alante, the Cadillac Alante?
Oh yeah.
The cars that the Pininfarina shipped the bodies over here like the special bodies, over here like the special bodies, over here like the special plane.
Yeah.
And my cousin growing up had one of those, and it had the last year had like the big
car.
North Star engine in.
Yeah.
Had that iridescent like white gauge cluster.
Yeah.
And it was a removable roof.
So strange. That's so strange.
It was. I'm surprised they didn't like take off. But I've seen I've seen GMC Cyclone convertibles.
Mm-hmm. What?
Convertibles. I knew you were gonna like catch up then. But look at cars that have been chopped. Cars that have been chopped. It's like, why'd you do it?
Well, I think the shops that make convertibles, the cars that were never convertibles in the first place, are doing it because it's unique, and two to sort of illustrate their ability to do that and not make a death trap.
So even though you hate them, what do you think is the most beautiful convertible?
The most.
I have one in mind.
Convertible or like Target? Or just like topless car?
Whatever. Convertible, not Target.
Like the...
There's a few...
That's a rough one.
What's weird is I don't like the car...
918
I don't like the car company that much.
Okay.
But like every convertible I like they made.
Okay.
So Jaguar. Like an E-Type. XK120.
Yeah.
The car
F-Type
James Dean No, it's at the Peterson. I can't remember. It's an XKSS.
Oh, okay.
Leno drove it a while back.
Okay.
It's not James Dean's car. It's I forget whose
That's
car it is. But anyway, just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Voluptuously shaped car.
Yeah, yeah. The Brits are good at everything but
At
electronics.
roadsters. At roadsters.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's the thing, right? I think there should be a line drawn in the sand between roadsters and convertibles, because although they share many similarities, roadsters were always convertibles.
So let's get to my nightmare of existence.
Shooting brakes. All right. Well, no, I'm glad we spent as much time on convertibles as we did, because there's just not that many examples of shooting brakes that we can discuss.
Oh
unfortunately,
yeah, there's way too
no,
many.
there's a few.
All right, well,
there's not.
Are we going to just talk about the ones that really exist, or are we going to talk about all these nightmarishly horrible renderings of them?
Oh, like the Mustang shooting brake, or like the first gen Mustang shooting brake.
But so
I think that looks
didn't Callaway or somebody recently do a shooting brake hatch for the new Vet?
Yes. Well,
it'd be like a sport wagon top or something like that.
All right. Before we get into this topic, you like hot hatches.
Yeah, for the most part.
A lot of people like hot hatches.
Yeah.
All a shooting brake is a hot hatch with a long front, more or less. So why do you like some hot hatches but no shooting brakes?
Well, because it's the symmetry of front to rear size.
So it's an aesthetic.
It's a station wagon. Shooting brake's a station wagon without the doors.
But it's two doors. Yeah.
It's a station wagon. It's your Dodge Monaco estate wagon without the extra pair of doors, and that's what makes it horrible.
Yeah.
And you see beautiful cars like Aston Martins made into shooting brakes. You just want to put it in
Ferraris. Yeah.
Or like the car that I can't stand, the FF.
I think that's a good car.
No love for the FF at all. No, it's the Honda Civic hatchback of Ferrari.
In what way? How's it?
It's like an EG hatch. When I see that thing, that's what I think of.
I mean, but why?
Powertrain, it's not, but yeah.
Yeah, like what about it makes you think of it in that way?
Because Ferrari should never built a car like that. It's like Ferrari building a minivan.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like I don't like the Scaglietti, but I understand it.
I like the Scaglietti.
Yeah, but it's like with like the shooting brake stuff. It's like what amazes me is you see all these renderings of them.
Yeah.
And then they never build them.
Right.
Because
but the ones that they do build, you don't even like them.
They're ugly.
Okay, but so.
Have you ever seen this? It was an Aston Martin DB5 or DB6 shooting brake.
It's old.
And it was just like this, holy shit, who stuck this big top on the back of a beautiful car?
Okay, so there's, I'm sure you've seen it, there are some, because of the way the car is designed, there are some, I think it's the newer Miata hardtops, which are, because of where the cockpit is,
They look kind of
more shooting brake-ish than coupe-ish.
Well, I think the only issue I have with the new car.
Do you think they look good?
I don't like the new car that much. Look,
the new Miata.
Yeah, I don't like the fact they're trying to do too many things with it. It's like aesthetically, the car's great. I mean, I like the car. I've never seen a Miata I didn't like.
You think it's wearing too many hats, or
it's trying to wear too many hats?
Yeah.
It's like I think like you now have a manufacturer that makes 5 different types of minivan.
Yeah.
Or SUV.
Or GM makes how many SUVs?
Like,
who knows?
Why?
And what? And actually, I don't want to get into that, but the Blazer, total missing of the mark. How they made a Traverse.
You mean the off-road Camaro?
They made a Traverse with a Camaro up front and called it a Blazer.
Well, that's what it is. It's a Camaro 4-wheel drive.
Anyway, shooting brakes. So, no, I like them. I like shooting brakes. I think that to me, that they are basically like the bigger brother of a hot hatch. Like a hot hatch is like they're practical and they're small and they're fun.
But the thing is,
if you made them bigger and faster,
but it's always like these cars that already have a beautiful car and then they're just effing them up.
So you don't like the Z3 or Z4M coupes, which are shooting brakes?
You mean like
definitely
the clown shoes?
Yeah, the clown shoes.
The BMW Miata.
But the shooting brake
with
yeah,
no reliability.
Yeah, well,
I hate that. I hate the Z3s. I don't know if we ever talked about it. Like, I really don't like those cars.
Really?
At all.
I like them a lot.
I don't like getting in and out of them. I don't like your seating position in them. I just don't like the way.
But you like Miatas?
Miatas are actually a little bit better.
I don't get in a Miata so much as put a Miata on.
Well, BMW did with that car like they do with every car. Is they made it fatter and less reliable.
Well, the Z3 didn't have a predecessor, so.
Well, yeah, but they're still trying to copy British Roadsters. That's where they went with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
But the Z3 was very successful.
So you're gonna geek out over this, but a few years ago I had an opportunity to go for a ride in a Z8 convertible.
Yeah, those are awesome. All
and the guy who owns that car lives in New Jersey, super cool dude, and he's a BMW fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
And he had like the new M3 at the time, the new M5 at the time. He had that. He had the Z3 convertible. Every one of those cars was black.
Mm-hmm.
And he had an Alpina on order, Z8 Alpina. And what's funny is, we went kind of back to convertibles. That car gets love.
Well, first of all, nobody knows about
it. It was in a Bond movie.
Yeah, but
it wasn't for a couple of seconds.
It was in the Bond movie, but everybody bought the Z3. They're like, oh, that's
well,
the
Z3
car.
was earlier.
Yeah,
same Bond. I think.
Same Bond, same Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
But the Z8, like nobody really knew about them. Only like
the only thing I've ever read about it is like, oh, it's a convertible with the M5 engine, but it's slower than the M5. I'm like, yeah, it's a convertible.
Yeah.
And it was really.
It's a very luxurious car.
It was really very unusual for BMW.
Yeah,
the car is really curvy.
It's a very pretty car.
It is a pretty car, and I think it aged well.
Yeah, they still look good.
But my geek out about lone BMWs. I like other ones no one likes. It's like I like the 850 and
I like those though.
Yeah,
I love that. My favorite one was designed and built by Lamborghini.
But
that M1,
did BMW have shooting brakes?
Aside from the Z3, no, I don't think so.
Like,
that Z3 M2.
Other than renderings and cars that never happened.
Yeah.
Cars that never happened.
No.
But it's like
the Z4 M Coupe's more of a coupe than the Z3. The Z3 is a shooting brake called the coupe.
So for everybody who may not know what a shooting brake is.
Yeah.
It's. I'm going to take a shot at this explanation.
Yeah.
It's a radical body redesign of a coupe, or in some cases roadster, to elongate the top rear of the car into almost a station wagon.
If you had a two-door station wagon.
And the reason it's called a shooting brake is so that you can open the back of it. It goes back to the British cars where you would open it up and you'd keep your rifles in there when you were hunting grouse or whatever you were hunting.
Yeah.
So it was a utilitarian concept
for the time.
And the Brits decided, hey, this is he's going to hate me. The Brits decided it was a stupid idea. Let's just make Range Rovers. And now they
make two-door Range Rovers.
They make two-door Range Rovers. Yeah. But they make those cars like it kind of led in a way it was an SUV.
It was like the grandfather to that, or the father to the SUV, like the first SUV.
But has there ever been a mainstream shooting brake? They've always been like a special edition or some weird coupe.
No.
I mean, the clown shoe is probably the closest thing.
Yeah, and the thing too is, if you want to go apples to apples with convertibles and shooting brakes, there's way more of a market for convertibles and shooting brakes. Like, absolutely. I think shooting brakes are like sort of like the scotch of the car world. Like, some guys really like them, most people don't like them.
I wouldn't do scotch.
I mean, what's a rarer alcohol that is so polarizing?
I don't know. Rarer,
moonshine,
polarizing.
I mean, yeah, because you hate them and I like them.
No, yeah, but I mean, there's things I would just compare with scotch, and I don't even like scotch.
Well, I'm not talking about in the quality, but so much as like how polarizing of a liquor.
No,
is.
it makes sense. I think
like a lot of whiskey guys.
I think automotive manufacturers have rendered and produced shooting brakes just to get people's attention. It's like, ooh, look at this horribly ugly thing.
Make one.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And then you get 4,000 people emailing in, Jesus Christ, please never build that thing. I never want to see it in the street. It's horrible.
But auto manufacturers don't listen to people.
No.
I mean, they just don't. They make stuff all the time.
We actually had this conversation like a day or so ago about how people say they want something when you give it to them, they don't want it.
Yeah.
So,
or they say they hate something and you make it people buy a million.
The marketing concept has turned into, we're just going to make something and then tell you we like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so look at it this way. Here's a perfect example.
800 GM SUVs.
Here's a perfect example. Prior to like the 80s, maybe the 70s, but prior to the 80s, if you told somebody, hey, we're going to make a 4-door sedan that is automatic and front-wheel drive, people would quit. They'd be like, I don't want to work for you anymore. So then we had the Taurus. We had the Camry. We had the, Maximo, the 4-door sports car. Complete joke. Don't get me started.
Speaking of which, you mentioned Taurus. That's on the list of future episodes.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about cars that kind of came and went.
Well, but here's my point, right? So they all of a sudden, every manufacturer had this front-wheel drive, four-door automatic car that is
marketing
the least desirable type when the idea came out, but everyone bought them. Yeah. Everyone bought them.
Well, because America leads the market, and America has snow and shitty weather.
That's true.
In certain regions, you know.
Yeah.
We're lucky where we are.
Yeah.
But I mean, but what I always found funny is how they made those cars, and then they started making cool ones, like the SHO.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, it's
faster.
Yeah. But you ever drive one? You ever drive like an earlier?
No. First generation.
Blast, that Yamaha motor.
Yamaha heads,
But it was like, but that car was such a river, but you don't see, but now it's like, we have more kids, so.
I wonder if the Nissan marketing the Maxima as a four-door sports car was in response to the SHO. Because it was oddly successful.
I think it was before.
Was it? Okay.
The 40 SC. I had a Stellan Maxima, a 2000 Stellan Maxima.
Well, why? Why would you even bother?
Because they were trying, I think what they were trying to do is saying, you bought a four-door because you have kids.
Yeah.
But Dad can still have fun going to work in it.
And
it's not a minivan.
And 5.
Yeah, but it was a lot more money.
540i. 525i.
It was a lot more money.
You can have a manual rear-wheel drive four-door.
You
can take your kids to school, you can go to work, and you can have fun on the drive.
Until Nissan went the way of the CVT, where everything is CVT. I mean, you used to be able to buy. There's these cars that are like, we'll talk about that in another episode too, but like the SHO or 2002 to 2004, I want to say, Maximas. With the 3.5 and the 6-speeds.
Yeah.
And they were like 145 mile an hour cars, stainless ends, and they were blasting. You can't find them anymore because everybody's chewing them up.
Yeah.
The manual cars pull money. But it was a 350Z with 4 doors.
And wrong wheel drive.
Yeah. but you know, I mean,
it's not a G35.
But
you come from north like I do, so I mean, you realize that. Why do you think Volkswagens are so big up there?
Look,
Jettas and
I'm
Golfs
the wrong guy to have that discussion with. I can't tell you how many winters I drove in a rear-wheel drive car with an LSD, and I'm like, you guys,
I had Fox chassis.
Yeah.
Which is like, you want to learn how to drift, that's the way you do it.
You
Fox
want
chassis
to or not,
with snow tires.
Yeah.
But for all these people down here don't know what snow tires
are. Yeah.
But I mean, you drive those cars around. That's why those cars are popular, because Subarus. Look how if you buy a Subaru in Florida, an STI in Florida, and you want to sell it and make money, sell it up north.
It's funny because the same thing is true
because there's no rust on it.
The same thing is true of BMWs up north.
Right.
So like E30s, E36s, like this, not necessarily M3s, but like E30s and E36s. You can get up there for a dime a dozen.
You get into. I used to play with a lot of SCs, like Lexus SCs, and anyone who's ever owned one of those, the interiors fall apart. Like the seats rot out from the sun. The sun cooks them, right? And I don't know why people live in Florida and don't have window tint to protect this stuff. They all go bad. Everything that goes bad with an SC interior is all sun related.
Yeah.
The instrument cluster gets too hot and it turns black.
Switches don't work.
Yeah. So what we used to do for the longest time is we would look up junkyards up in the Northeast.
Right.
And get seats from them.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't down.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have any damage.
And it's a thing. Your geographic location is a huge influencer of how your car ages.
But
huge.
To go to probably the worst convertible ever is a Lexus. An SC430 is probably one of the most horrible looking. The turtles.
Here's what's funny about that. You're right.
You like the turtles?
No. You're right. A friend of mine's father had a modded one.
Oh, they sound amazing. You can make them like all kinds of cool noises because that engine's badass.
It's not a 1 easy. It's a 2.
Is it something 2Z?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's bigger than
it. So a friend of mine's dad had a modified one when I was in the middle of looking for a new daily, and I wanted something a little more reliable than a BMW because they're not that reliable. But they're fine. I had a momentary lapse. But he's like, oh my dad's
to the dark side.
My dad's got this SC430, and the main reason I didn't buy it is because it looked terrible, and it was an automatic. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm not.
I had that. Like you flip it through 15 different. It was like a river.
Yeah. But that's a car that on paper should have been good. It followed from the SC400. You would think that like the SC400 was basically a Supra. And
absolutely, same chassis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so you're like,
with better headlights.
Yeah, well, leather, and so you're like, that will fall apart and fall apart in Florida, but so you're like, the SC430, this is the update, this is what this is going to be replaced by. And it was mostly not great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the audience has anything as always, if you have any topics you want us to discuss or you want our opinions on, feel free to just send us a message. We'll add it to the list that is growing.
Yeah.
But I mean, we need to talk. We need to talk about at one point is cars that no one liked and now they like.
Oh man, I can
like comeback cars.
E30M3s.
E30M3s or
possibly the biggest comeback car.
Yeah, I mean, try to buy a Fox chassis Mustang these days.
I have, and every time I look, they're more expensive.
Convertible, automatic.
No.
Well, that's all you can find. Yeah. And they're still $5-6 grand.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and you look at, but there's like a lot of these cars that are just like, I think the SC, the 430 is just a hard. I just don't think anyone's ever going to like it that much to love it.
But that Fox Body Mustang, like I've been looking for one just because I think it would be like a fun daily and cheap to fix and like just kind of cool and getting rare.
They're blast. They had 7 of them.
They're for a 5-speed 5.0. The cheapest I can find one that anybody would want to own is $10 grand. I'm like, these cars were being given away.
Yeah, but
3 years ago.
There's a reason. I think the reason for that is because these cars have been turned into track cars. Like everybody bought one,
really
turned into track cars. Yeah. Everybody's running 10s of these things, and then oops, they crash it, and there's no saving it. Just buy another one.
Yeah.
And then move all the parts over. So these same powertrains have been in like 5 cars.
Well, I can't recall who it was now, but somebody did it.
But back to convertibles, horrible. Fox chassis convertibles, horrible.
I had my
you would drive it like I had one. I had an 80. I think it was an 88 or 89 convertible.
Yeah. And
all these engine mods and Cobra parts on it, Cobra front end, Cervini hood, like all the Mustang guys don't understand what I'm talking about. But as you're driving this car, it would rain, and you didn't know where more of the water was going to come from, where it met the windshield or in the windows. Like if it came sideways, your whole leg was soaked, and then you would get this constant like waterfall coming through the. So one day, I realized that it was raining and I wasn't getting wet, and I looked up and there was my sun visor was bloated with water and it sucked it up like a sponge. It was just dripping right on it. And I'm like, man, if I could have gone like that. So just got a shower in the car. But that's just horrible design.
Well, yeah, and it's one of the. I think that sort of thing is what you can expect when you decide to make a convertible out of a car that you didn't design to be a convertible in the first place. Which is, I think, the exception. You don't hear Miata owners really complain too much about leaks until the cars are like 120,000 miles old.
But also,
and then they're like,
you bought that Miata and you spent $300-400. You put a brand new top on it.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
we had a second gen Miata from Japan, right-hand drive one,
and like an NB,
yeah, beautiful Caribbean blue, just gorgeous car. And the top was shot. Like it really wasn't. The top wasn't even bad. It was just a window.
Okay.
So
the rear.
There's a guy Jace over in Altamont.
And
he put it on and like I dropped it off. Next day I came back and picked it up. Brand new roof. Everything was tight like a drum, and it was like $600. And it was a cloth top over the vinyl top that was on it from Japan. So it was a better top, nicer quality top for no money. Like there's no money. Like that's the thing about the Miatas. I think you can buy them and just maintenance is nothing.
Yeah, I would be lying if I said I hadn't been considering a Miata.
I like them. It's just unlivable.
Yeah,
you can't live with one. You can't live on a day-to-day basis with one.
Well, and that's the thing. I borrowed a friend's Miata, and this was like 15 or 20 pounds ago. But like, I borrowed a friend's Miata, and I was like, I'm jammed in this thing. I'm jammed in it. It's not. It's really not meant for taller or wider guys or thicker.
We drove an S2000, right? Drove S2000 all the way from Philly down here.
Oh, it sounds awful.
By the time I got here, I knew I never wanted to.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with the car. The car is a cool car.
Doesn't fit it.
And it is not. It is one of the better convertibles. It's probably up there with the
the S2000s. Yeah,
it's probably up there with it. And it definitely looks the best with an aftermarket hardtop on it.
I think if Honda made more cars like the S2000 and less cars like the Accord Coupe, they would. I think they'd have far fewer haters in the car scene.
Well, I mean, other than in the U.S. world, what has Honda really built convertible other than the S2K? The Beat was in Japan.
That's not U.S. Yeah, nothing. Probably.
No, I can't think of anything.
I can't either. And you're the JDM guy. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, even U.S. but Toyota really, the Solara. That's all I can think of.
That's a terrible car.
The Camry Coupe convertible.
That was the biggest joke of a car ever.
My guilty pleasure car.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
It's such a pile of crap. Why would you like that? They actually
made the earlier Solaris.
If they made a Maxima convertible, you'd be like,
they literally, early on, they made a TRD edition Solara.
What a waste!
And what guys were doing is they were throwing, it's the same engine that's in one of the trucks or something. It's a Tacoma or something.
Oh.
It's Camry V6, basically. It's a Camry. It's the same motor that's in the truck, the Tacoma. And guys were supercharging them. And you could get the Solara with a manual.
But it's still wrong-wheel drive and convertible.
But it's still like...
And heavy.
But the thing is, you see that thing go down the road, you'd never expect to get your ass handed to you by a supercharged mom-mobile.
No.
You know? It would be a great sleeper.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those guilty pleasure cars, like a Conquest.
Yeah.
Like, I like the Conquest.
I had a bunch of DSMs.
It reminds me of the original Battlestar Galactica enemy fighter planes.
The old
with the
Raiders or whatever.
Cylon Raiders.
Raiders, yeah.
That car just looks like it. You know that, off topic, you know that car, they got sued?
Who did?
Mitsubishi got sued by Porsche. Because they said the Conquest and the Starion looked too much like the 944. The fenders were and everything.
No way.
Yep, it happened.
The Mazda FC looks way more like a 924 or 44 than that car.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah, but I guess they figured they wouldn't sue against Mitsubishi.
That could be.
But anyway, if you guys think of some cars or topics to talk about, hit us up and we'll be glad to look into it. See you guys next week.
Thanks.